I was unhappy in my previous marriage for a long time. But if you had asked me back then how things were, I would have told you things were good and that I loved him. For a long time, I didn't feel fully ready to really acknowledge how I was feeling because I knew what it would mean. It would mean that I couldn't stay. And that concept was so scary for me that I stayed in the dark for years about what was really going on in my relationship. But one day, I couldn't anymore. I was going through spiritual awakening and coming out of a massive amount of denial. And after lots of Google searching and reading, I realized I was married to an emotionally unavailable man. So today I'm going to tell you how I realized that, what was going on in my relationship that helped me realize I was with someone unavailable. And make sure you watch until the end because there's something really important that you need to know about relationships with unavailable partners if you want to find real healthy love. So the first thing that was going on was he had a lot of trouble with labeling, expressing, and communicating emotions. Now, in the beginning of our relationship, I actually liked this about him. He seemed so cool and unbothered, and I was really drawn in by that. But later, I realized this was actually a symptom of his emotional unavailability. He wasn't very in touch with his feelings. And if I asked him about something, like how he was feeling about something, he would often say that he just didn't know. He really didn't have access to that part of himself. The second thing that was going on that clued me into the fact that I was with someone unavailable was that he would frequently avoid having the hard and the deep conversations about difficult topics. We just couldn't have them. I would try to start the conversation, but it just wouldn't go anywhere. Or what it ended up being most of the time was me just talking and him listening. Like, we could have some intellectual conversations, but if it turned to deeper topics and feelings, it died out. He would just stop talking or he would change the subject if the conversation got too emotional. And what I realized eventually was that I was the only one that was ever bringing up the important discussions that we really had to have in our relationship. It was always me initiating those, never him. The third thing that was going on that helped me realize I was with someone unavailable was the fact that he really didn't have much to say about his day-to-day life, what was going on for him. I would call him quiet. And I'm not judging here because this is how I was back when I was more unavailable in my past. Now, being quiet can be normal for us introverts in the beginning of a relationship, but I was married to this person for almost a decade, and even after all that time being together, he still wasn't able to open up and share more than just very surface things, like the very basics of what his day was like. Like, my day was good, I went for a walk. That was all we could do. The next thing that was going on was that I truly had no idea how my husband felt about me. I thought he loved me. I could guess that maybe he did. But beyond me guessing, I truly had no idea how he felt. I had no idea how he felt about me, how he felt about the relationship. I just didn't know. And that led to a lot of anxiety for me. And since he wasn't very expressive about his feelings, I felt insecure a lot of the time. And deep down, I didn't feel very safe with him. All of this was because I truly didn't know how he felt about me. The last big thing that was going on that let me know I was with someone unavailable was I felt so unappreciated. Here's a story for you. I was literally shocked when I first asked my ex for a separation because he got a little bit angry. And that completely blew my mind. I actually thought that this man really didn't care. I thought he was just going to be fine. And I was truly surprised when he had some emotional response to my request for a separation. I really didn't think he cared. The truth is, he could have loved me deeply, but I never would have known it. To this day, I still don't know. All because he wasn't able to share his feelings. So these were the main things that were going on in my relationship that clued me in to the reality that I was married to an unavailable partner. Now, don't click away now. Here's the most important thing that you need to know if you continually find yourself with unavailable partners. there's usually some unavailability within us as well. I even make a face saying that because it's not very pleasant to hear. But that's why we're drawn to unavailable partners ourselves. We too are unavailable to a degree, because if we weren't, if we were fully available, we would not be drawn to these types of unavailable partners. We simply wouldn't choose them. And hear me loud and clear on this. It is a choice. We're not attracting them, we're choosing them. And I say this with no judgment and a lot of love as someone who has been there herself. It is a choice, and honestly, it's the best news ever, because we can heal and make different choices. We're not stuck. So if we keep choosing unavailable partners, it's due to our own fears of intimacy. I can give you the most extensive list of qualities for unavailable partners so that you could avoid them. But if you have a subconscious block to love, which is what fuels these fears of intimacy, then you're still going to be drawn to those unavailable partners. You're still going to choose them. So if this is you, I can help. Shifting that unavailability is exactly what I help my clients with in my Living Free Finding Love program. I help my clients release the source of these fears of intimacy, these blocks that are keeping them drawn to the unavailable partners and choosing them. And these blocks, these are not our fault. They're due to painful and scary experiences in our past. I help you release these energies from the past that are fueling that fear of healthy love. And now you might be thinking, wait, I have a fear of healthy love? Yes, if you are choosing unavailable partners, there's a reason you're doing so. And you might not consciously be registering this, but this would look like being turned off by availability, saying someone's just not your type, feeling no attraction to healthy partners. That's how this plays out. I also help my clients rewire any subconscious beliefs that are keeping them drawn to those unavailable partners. Things like, I'm not good enough, or no one ever loves me. And I help you navigate the dating process so you're not missing any signs of unavailability. I don't want you to waste a moment more of your time with someone who can't truly love you. Many of my clients are now in happy, healthy relationships, and they're so glad that they took the chance to work with me. So if you're ready to be done with emotionally unavailable partners and you want real, healthy love, send me an email at lindsay@thereallovealchemist.com, or you can click on the link in the description to read all about it on my website. Now, I talked a little bit about this in this video here, but if you think you're with someone unavailable and you really want to know what that feels like, check out this video here.